Hi friends, welcome to the small tutorial on Introduction to SPSS Windows. So in this tutorial, we are going to see how to open a data file in SPSS. The two main windows in SPSS, namely SPSS Data Editor and SPSS Output Viewer, and the two spreadsheets that are available at the left hand bottom of the SPSS Editor window, namely data view and variable view, and the important columns in variable view. How to open a data file in SPSS? There are several ways of opening a data file in SPSS. One way is by clicking the SPSS icon. An introductory window will appear with the title SPSS Statistics 17.0 or 20 or 25, any of the versions you have got in your PC. Then click the radio button, type in data and then click OK. Now you have got the SPSS data file. Here I have used IBM SPSS Statistics 20 version. So the window shows IBM SPSS Statistics 20, and here we have to type in data. We have to click type in data button, so which is shown here by marking the area, that is, it is appearing in the second place. Then we have to click on OK button so as to reach the SPSS data file. What are the two main windows in SPSS? SPSS Data Editor and SPSS Output Viewer. Data Editor is the main window of SPSS. It is the only window that always opens when we run SPSS. And it has two spreadsheets, namely Data View and Variable View, at the bottom side of the Data Editor. Variable View contains names and details of the variables of the data. Data View is for making data entry. When this data view is accessed, it gives names at the head of the columns which are labeled in the variable view. The rest of the columns contain the default name variable VAR, indicating that these columns have not yet been labeled with specific variables. And the second window is SPSS Output Viewer. This window is divided into two panes by a vertical gray bar. The left pane shows the hierarchical organization of the contents, and the right pane shows the results of statistical analysis. This window helps to locate the data view and variable view appearing in the data editor window. And this is highlighted by the pink colored ellipsed curve at the left hand bottom of the window. The first one is data view and the second one is variable view. Entering data into the data editor is a two-step process. The first step is naming the variables in the variable view. When you click the variable view at the left hand bottom of the window, the data sheet opens with the title variable view. The variable view data sheet has 10 columns, namely name, type, width, decimals, label, values, missing value, columns, alignment and measure. So we have to type all these details of the variable in the variable view. What is name? What we have to type here? Name is a string character, normally letters and spaces and sometimes digits. It appears at the head of a column in data view but not in the output. It is a shortened view that appears only within the data view. It should be a continuous sequence with no space. 64 letters can be entered, but it is desirable to keep it short. It can be a mixture of cases. For example, If we want to enter the height of the individuals in a class, we have to type height under name. It should be remembered that it is a continuous sequence with no space in between characters. Whenever we type, it appears at the head of a column in data view but not in the output. So we can use short forms. Then the next column is type. This column accepts 8 different types of variables. The two important ones are the numeric, that is numeral with a decimal point, and string, that is name of the participants, names of the students, name of the cities, or any other non-numeric character. Then the third one represents the width. It is the width of the variable. The default setting for the width of the variable is 8, but we can change the width by choosing edit option and clicking the option and then selecting data. Then the next one is decimals. It is the number of decimals that will be displayed in the data view. The default setting displays 2 decimals. If required, it could be changed by clicking twice on the upward or downward arrow. Then label. Label is the meaningful phrase with spaces in between the words. It describes the variable and also appears in the output. In the name, we have entered the shortened view. Here, we can give a detailed description of the label, and only this label will be displayed in the output viewer window. It is important to assign meaningful labels for the variables. Then values. This column is meant for grouping variables. It gives the keys to the meaning of the code numbers. The value dialog box is opened by clicking the gray area. The value and the labels are given in the value dialog box. And this is usually used for categorical data. Suppose if we have to enter the values for gender, we can classify the gender into male and female. We can assign 1 to male and 2 to female. Then the next one is missing value. It specifies the missing value in a data set. While collecting data, some of the respondents might not have filled up some of the questions. So, the user might not have entries for every case on every variable in the data set. Such missing entries are marked by SPSS in the data editor by a full stop. This is called as system missing values. Then the next one is columns. It denotes the width of all the variables that appear in the data view. Then alignment. This column determines whether the data are left, right, or center aligned. The default is right alignment. We can change the alignment by choosing the required one. The last one tells about the type of measurement scale, whether the data are on the nominal, ordinal scale. This window shows the columns that are available in the variable view, and this is marked by pink colored ellipsed curve. And here the first one appearing in this window is the name, then type, width, decimals, label, values, missing values, columns, alignment, measurement, the scales which are nominal and ordinal, and the role of the data is input. One of the columns in variable view is measurement scale. When we click the measurement scale, 3 types of measures are appearing here in SPSS. They are nominal scale, ordinal scale, and scale. In statistics, there are 4 types of scales, namely nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. But for SPSS, we have only 3 scales. So we have to choose appropriate scale while entering each and every variable. So for which we must have a better understanding of the concept of these scales. So let us throw some light upon the different types of scales along with the examples. First, let us take the nominal scale. And before taking into consideration the meaning of all these scales, let us see the broad classification under which these scales can be put to. qualitative scales and quantitative scales. Nominal scales and ordinal scales come under qualitative scales, while interval and ratio scale come under quantitative scales. What are nominal scales? Categorical data and numbers that are simply used as identifiers or names represent a nominal scale of measurement. These are called as labels. Nominal relates to names, a subtype of nominal scale with two categories. Male or female is called dichotomous. Other subtype of nominal data are nominal with order like cold, warm, hot, very hot, and nominal without order like male and female. Then coming to ordinal data. Ordinal scales are measures of non-numeric concepts like satisfaction, happiness and discomfort, etc. The order of the value is what is important and significant here. For example, 4 is better than 3 or 2, but we do not know and cannot quantify how much better it is. It denotes the order of values. For example, a child in a family is referred by its birth order, such as first, second, third, and fourth child. Similarly, it may be possible to categorize the income of the people into 3 categories as low income, middle income, and high income. The only requirement is that the order is maintained throughout the study. Then coming to next one, interval scale. These are numeric scales in which we know both the order and the exact difference between the values. Celsius temperature is an example of an interval scale. Then coming to ratio scale. Ratio scale can measure the size and magnitude as a factor of one defined unit in terms of another. Data measurement on ratio scale permits all mathematical operations to be used, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and square roots. Friends, thank you for watching. I shall meet you soon with a demo on entering data and doing statistical analysis with a small problem. Bye.